So, welcome, John. I wanted to take a moment to thank you in advance for telling us a little bit about your story and what you've accomplished in our work together.
Sure.
So, welcome. So, who are you and what do you do?
So I'm John Prince and I am a life and mindset coach. I was previously a professional poker player and played for about 9 years or so. And then I made the leap across to coaching. And now I help people both in a personal sense and a professional sense with both mindset and life coaching. And love it. It's good fun.
Cool. So, how long have we been working together? And have you worked with other coaches previous to our work?
So we've been working together for quite a few months now. I can't even pinpoint the exact amount of time, but I know it's quite a while now that we've been doing the work. I have worked with coaches previously. I feel like as a coach, it's important to have a coach myself because I can't see my own blind spots. It's really handy to kind of have that space for me to be able to get the support that I need to help my clients as well, really, and perform at my best.
Absolutely. I agree with that. As coaches, it's important to also have that support system.
Yeah, sure.
And so, what problem were you looking to solve when you initially contacted me? Like, what were things like before we worked together?
Yeah, so to be honest, I needed clarity on where I was at. I was personally under an immense amount of pressure and stress just in my own business, putting it on myself, really. Managing business, managing family. I had a lot going on and it felt like it was too much for me to kind of handle all on my own. And I wanted some support with that. And to be able to kind of create that clarity on where I was at and see things a little bit more clearly. So that's what kind of prompted me to speak to you and start doing some work.
And so, what fears, if any, presented to you when you considered working with me? Was there something that was holding you back?
I guess it's just the stuff that you don't want to face. Perhaps you don't want to bring up some of for me, maybe the pressure and the stress that I was experiencing. It's perhaps easier to ignore it and not have to face it.
Right.
So having that kind of come up and having to face it and take a look at it and really see what it was, that was a bit intimidating and having to deal with it, really. It's easier to just not face stuff and just pretend it's not there and it's like, oh, go away and things will get better. But it had been a period of time where things weren't getting better. So the pain of not dealing with it was getting bigger than the pain of actually, the small amounts of pain of facing it, really.
Right, exactly. And there's always that, so the pain motivates you, but there's always that apprehension, like what's going to happen when I start to kind of pick this apart or dissect it.
Yeah, and that fear of the unknown, right? Of like, oh, what am I going to have to face? Or am I going to have to do some scary stuff that I don't want to do?
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you, what's been the impact of our work together for you personally?
So the first thing that kind of springs to my mind is how much space I've been able to create for myself. I had no idea kind of how hard I was working myself and kind of running myself into the ground. And as a business owner, needing to kind of operate at my best and run the business and support my clients, I was kind of burning myself out. And I just couldn't see it. I didn't realize my boundaries had started to slip. Like I wasn't going out and running and meditating, doing the things I needed to do. And so through the conversations and being challenged, I was able to kind of start seeing that for what it was and start slowly taking the steps I needed to take, create more space. And then the better I felt, the better I was performing and the more confident I was getting as well. So that was one aspect. And then the other aspect that I found was really useful was being challenged on some beliefs that I had that I was really clinging on quite tightly to, around me not trusting myself fully when it came to the work that I was doing. And I was putting in a few different structures to kind of prop that up. And it took quite a bit of challenging from you for me to see that and And it's frustrating at times, right? Because
Mm.
I knew what was going on, but I didn't quite want to go there because maybe it was too scary, or it was too difficult, or maybe I didn't want to believe it. But creating some clarity around that, then I slowly started to bring that trust in, and then build that confidence up, and it all tied in as well. Just gonna
Awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
shed some. Oh, there we go.
That's better.
Yeah.
So what, if anything, did I do differently from other coaches that you've worked with?
So one, gave me the space in order to make the change, but two, really challenged me, right? You weren't afraid to call me out on the excuses and blocks that I had, but to kind of call it what it was, so that then I was able to see it and move around. And I think that directness and honesty allowed me to able to save time. So rather than beating around the bush for several sessions that could pan out over weeks and months and years, it's like, right, this is the problem, let's cut down to it a lot quicker. So being challenged, I think was a real key that I saw from you.
And so in those moments, was that uncomfortable?
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
it was uncomfortable. Yeah, I did hate you a little bit at times. But
Okay.
yeah, but no, like it's like
Right.
you look back on those situations and you're so grateful that you had that, because growth is uncomfortable.
Right.
It's one of the things I've seen in my business working with my clients, is sometimes you don't, it's not nice to see someone uncomfortable, but that's where all the growth is happening. It's like being in the gym and you're lifting weights. If you're just lifting comfortable weights every day, then it's nice and amicable and everyone's happy and you go and you feel like you've done something. But when you lift the ones that are just quite out of your reach and it hurts a little bit, then you get stronger way quicker and then you can move forward. And that's what happened in that process.
Right. That's a great analogy. So what have you been able to achieve since working with me?
So first off, I've taken more time for myself. So I've created more space. I've created more revenue in my business because I've been more fearless myself, right? So some of the parts that I got from the coaching, I've been able to take into my own coaching and work with my own clients and be direct. And it's worked well, and the business is performing well and doing well. So I've created that revenue, created the time and space and energy, and more confidence within myself too. So that's been, yeah, a big takeaway for me.
Mm-hmm. So I think I already asked you this in another question, but what stands out about your experience with me?
So I think the main things, if I'm really honest, that stand out is that you're someone that I can trust, right? And I felt that very early in the sessions that we had, and from speaking you to before even doing the work together, is that you're someone that I felt that I can trust. And that's important for me to go into a session and have that, because then I'm able to progress a lot quicker. So what you see is what you get, rather than having to build that up over too much time or feeling like it's not there and holding back, because that was there and the directness and honesty was there. Then I felt like I could bring me into the conversations a lot quicker and progress quicker. So that's something that really stood out for me about you.
Cool. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
So if your best friend wasn't convinced to work with me, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to have a conversation with you and then make up their mind after that.
Excellent. I like that. And so I want to again thank you for your time and taking the time to answer these questions, and for always showing up to our meetings just as you are, where you are. So thank you, John.
My pleasure.